Do you want to make thumbnails like this? Well, today I'll be showing you some of the basics to making these. So follow along, pause where you need to, and enjoy the video. Alright, the first thing that we'll be doing is making the character itself. So I use Feather Client with all of my mods. These are the mods that I am using. We're mainly going to need green screen, 3D, stain layers, and new NPCs. And to make sure NPC mod works, you have to be on 1.20.1, at least on Feather. Alright, now that you're in Minecraft, you're going to make a new world, and you're going to make sure it's on creative and peaceful. You can give it a name like thumbnail world, and make sure the world is super flat with structures off. Alright, you load in, and you see the sun. We're gonna make it in that direction. You're gonna make sure the character is in the sun's direction. At least that's what I always do, because it's better for like lighting and stuff. Now with the green screen mod, you can get this green screen block, and it glows at night too, so it's pretty good. So this is probably one, if not the best green screen mods there are that I found. Now you're gonna make a little stage. You can make it however big you want. In my main world, I have it in like a little T shape. I honestly don't know why. It's quite big as well, just to make sure I don't get any other parts of the world in the screenshot that we're gonna take. So basically, what we're going to do too is we're going to type in NPC in the creative search bar, and you'll get this little wand. So get the wand and then right click, and then you'll get met with this menu. You can change your skin, you can change if you want it slim or just classic like Steve or an Alex. But you can change the cape if you want to. You have like a bunch of different capes. Let's do this one. This one's pretty cool. But yeah, it kind of depends on what type of thumbnail you're making, or how the character is meant to look, and how it's meant to fit in, or what it's doing. So you can make it a bit more alive with breathing, hurt for like if fixing a combo or something, or sneak, so you don't have to do that yourself. That's pretty cool. So we gotta make sure it's facing the sun. Let's put the sun in the right direction. So we're going to move this little guy around -90 degrees. Negative 9. It's very sensitive, so be warned. Alright, here's a little guy. Over here in the pose area, you can basically just do everything you want. You can, I don't know, you can do whatever you please. I'm not going to tell you anything about this really. I mean, this is mostly just kind of figuring it out yourself, and testing and kind of just messing around. Now I'm going to quickly pose this little fella. Alright, I've posed this little guy a little bit, not really that much. I only like tilted his head a little. And basically, what we're going to do now is we're going to go in spectator. Now, if you see in spectator, you move around quite quickly, which makes it hard to like adjust for this, to get the perfect screenshot, you know. But if you scroll down with your scroll wheel on your mouse, it will decrease your speed, which is really helpful for this. Now I can actually get into position. Now I usually use 60 FOV, so we're gonna do that. Make sure you have your FOV set to 60. Sometimes I do 30 as well, kind of depends. Then click F1 so it removes anything else you have, like for example I have the FPS counter on, so it will just get rid of that. Then just take a screenshot, and there you go. You have your character. Alright, next up, we're gonna need this software called paint.net. If you don't have it, you can buy it on the store or download it online. I downloaded it online because I couldn't be bothered to buy it. Alright, just pasting your character. And basically what we're going to do is, you see this little staff. We're going to click on that. Make sure it's not on anything. So just do that. And then just click on, you can use Control T to like add different sections to it. You can also do Control Z if you want to redo some or undo something. Now that we have the green screen selected, go to Eraser, increase the size, and here you go. It's completely gone like my father. And now you're left with a really nice character itself. Then save this, Control Shift S, save it somewhere you can find it in like your downloads. And then we're going to move on to our editing software. Now, the editing software that I use is Photopea. It's completely free and really good. So you're going to make a new project and go to YouTube thumbnail. Very nice of them to add that. Then just drag your little guy into here. And here he is. Here's a little fella. Now for the backgrounds I use Sparks. The server link will be in the description. And just go to resources and go to backgrounds, if I can find it. Here it is. They have multiple different things like video assets, project files, skies, fonts, softwares, background sounds, stock elements. They have a bunch of different stuff, but we're going to be focusing on backgrounds. So just search for a background that you want. They have a lot, so just search through whatever you please, whatever you think fits best with what you're looking for. I'll go with the Skywars background. So just copy the image, go to your Photopea, and then paste it in. Make sure it's under the Steve layer. Then click Ctrl-Alt-T, and just make sure your background fits the actual size that it needs to be. There you go. Your character isn't always going to be exactly how you want it. So just go back to Minecraft and resize it or reposition it if you want, because if you see, this doesn't really look all that good with positioning and stuff. Now as you can see, the character isn't really shaded correctly. It doesn't really fit in with the background. So what we're going to use, I have these settings on. Now to apply these, just go to Filter, Camera Raw, and here you have it. So just copy these settings that I've shared with you. They'll be on the screen. And see, now it already fixed a little bit better. Alright, after you've done all of this, we're going to actually do the shader right now. So just think, where is the light coming from? Now, I think in this picture is mainly coming from this right side. So that's probably where I'll be doing the lighting. So go to this lasso tool. Then make a new layer, and then just start outlining. This will take, sometimes it actually does take a bit, sometimes it doesn't really, but just make sure you follow your character precisely and all should be good. Now once you have the part selected, go to the brush tool and make it white. And make sure the opacity is around 50. And then just start drawing it in. And then basically just repeat. Once you've done all of the lighter part, what you're going to do is make a new layer, yet again, and instead of making it white, make it black. So basically where the light isn't going to really be. For example, in the inside of this arm, I don't really think it's going to be there, so I'm going to make that black. And then yet again, just repeat. Alright, once you've done all of that, you're going to go to where it says normal and make sure it's on overlay for both of them. And then you can modify it a little, making sure it fits right. Now, what you're going to do is we're going to add highlights. So you're going to go to the brush tool, make it white again, then go to this little square and make it free and put the opacity back to 100. Now basically what we're going to do is add highlights to where the light is reflecting, which is mainly on this side, so this is where most of the highlights will go. First of all, no one can draw perfect lines. Like if I try, it ain't happening. So what we're going to do is click shift, then put down a dot to where you're going to start the highlight, and then go to where you want it to go, which will be like right down here, and then click down here and it will make a perfectly straight line for you, which is such a lifesaver. I mean, look at this. Oh, this is absolute cinema. You have perfect straight lines and I didn't even have to do anything. So just follow where the light goes. So for here example, we're gonna go to it till here and just repeat this again. Alright, once you've done the highlighting, we're going to go to the eraser tool, put it to like around 12 in size, and hardness to 0, and opacity to around 20. And then just slowly start brushing all of this off. It will give this cool fade out effect, which is good for like shadowing. So just keep doing this till you get what you want, like something like this, for example. Basically just make it fit in with like the darker parts, which is mainly. So once you've done the highlighting, you have something like this. I am lagging like insane. Now we're actually going to do the shading. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a new layer, and you're going to click clip in mask. Then you're going to select the brush, make it something I usually do somewhere in the 100, hardness to 0, and opacity to around 20 again. And now actually add the lighting itself. Don't go into the character like this. Don't do that. Go around like above it. You see? You can change the color if you want to. You could do something like this. You know, something cool like this. And then just go over all of the parts where there's actually light. And if you want to do like a specific part, you could just use the lasso tool again, and you could just do it like this, and then it will only apply to the part that is selected with the lasso tool. So now it won't get on the arm, but I can still shade like the inside of the torso. Now that we've actually done the shadering, copy and paste this shader layer and then make the bottom one a overlay, and then make sure it fits. So I already find this pretty decent, so I'm just gonna keep it like this. Now what I usually also like to do is, you see this is shader, this is fully lighted, but this isn't, the bottom of the head. And basically what I'll do is I'll go back to this darker layer. I usually like doing this at like the end of shadering, because I mainly then have like an idea of what I'm doing mainly. So just put it back to black, and here you go. Now it actually has a bit better shading. Remember when we added a camera raw filter to the Steve? Just go back to filter, camera raw, and fill this in. And here you go. The background also looks way better. If you want to blur the background, just go to this little drop, which is the blur tool. You can increase the strength or decrease it. I usually just keep it at 100. And then you could just go over it, over the background, and it will blur it. Something like this. And that's basically it. Congratulations! You've made a shader thumbnail, or at least something shadered. Now obviously it takes time to perfect this, but if you keep doing this and perfecting these things, you'll definitely start making better thumbnails. Now, I'm sorry for my explanations, they're kind of weird. I'm not really good at explaining, so I tried my best. So I hope it was a bit understandable. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll definitely answer them. If you found this helpful, please consider subscribing, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!